Good morning, everyone. My name is Anne-Marie Band. Today is Monday, June the 26th. This is the last trading week of the quarter, also the last trading week of the month. And so it could be a little bit volatile. We had the Russian thing, whatever is going on there. It seems like trouble brewing, but nothing that we really need to worry about at this time. But commodities are probably going to start to spike just a little bit more. So we'll be talking about that through the day. Let's take a look at SPY. Remember, SPY is sitting, it just finished an inside week, okay? Meaning all the prices of the last week is sitting inside of the week prior. And so the goal will be getting to the top, which is 438, or getting to the bottom, which is 430. Right now we're at 432. Notice everything is still bullish. We've got a little bit, this is one of the rectangles that I have in play that shows a little bit of thin volume action in this space. I do anticipate the fade into 430 and then buyers come in and hold, okay? So that's my expectation on the first pass. Now, why? We've got these wicks over here. Could we come down into 428? Yes. We could come down really into 426. We could come down anywhere. Here's the thing. Buyers spent 6 days waiting for price action to break through here. If it fades all the way through here, we'll either be met with sellers who are buying to cover, which will push price up, or buyers who are going to say, all right, if it loses this area, I got to get out of here. And so that battle is going to get won one way or the other. Our job is to go, hey, that's a place that a battle might ensue. Trend anticipates that buyers are going to try and get it done. The only way we know if they're going to get it done is if they breach old resistance. And so if we fade through 429, it means we've got to get back up to 432, 433, all right? You can pick the bottom, but those are quick trades. They will bounce and then fade and bounce and then fade. But notice, even if they bounce and fade, they can easily resume to the upside because the overall trend is upward. Let's take a look at the Qs. Qs are doing the same sort of thing, right? Same sort of thing. Inside candlestick formation, either at the bottom or at the top. What do I anticipate? Well, lower highs. We're trying to hold the base here. So buyers are trying to hold 360. What they're not doing is bouncing up to old resistance. And so that tells me there's weakness. And if there's weakness there, it means that if we try to bounce off of this zone and it continues to give us lower highs, that's not really the right direction of the trade, right? Trend could anticipate that things are still moving into the congestion area around 357, right? But we are in a decision zone. This outside candlestick formation will help us with where the chart is likely to come into support or resistance and then move to the upside from there. If you are bullish, notice buying here is not a bad idea. If it loses this zone, you don't need to be long. Well, why not just get out and wait for it to get down into 357? Because it might turn around and move all the way up, and it might not. So pay attention to what the traders are doing and follow them, not what your mind is thinking with who knows is what sitting in there. No, I mean, nothing against anyone listening. What I'm trying to say is just watch the price. Just watch the price. Okay, so let's take a look at oil. Oh, for heaven's sakes, I'm using the Thinkorswim. Yeah, let's take a look at oil. Oil, as you know, I suspect oil is going to have itself quite the bounce. But notice, it's not. Came in, savage runoff, but notice, this is where we actually entered the first position, somewhere around here. Actually, we entered it probably a little bit lower, but it's still bouncing off of that zone. The problem is that I seem to be getting lower highs. So we've really got to watch this. The Russia situation is going to affect the price of commodities, in my mind. And so that should push us up to the north. But so far, we're seeing a lot of selling. Now, we think this selling is orchestrated. Can't really say much more than that without sounding like somebody with a tinfoil hat on. But the deep dips, I'm going to continue to look at. The problem is the bounces are going to give me opportunities to get out. And so that's really what we are going to watch. Let's take a look at the USO. Right? Here's where we entered down in this 60 patch. We're up here. It was bullish on Friday. So we're looking for it to continue to move to the north. 64, 65. You know, my thought is this thing should go to almost 70. But if it gets back to the 65 area and starts looking weak, I'm going to get us out of this trade. That's just what's happening in the big space. I can see it holding a baseline event. I don't know what the new Bitcoin ETF is, but, you know, we'll watch that and see if folks are moving in there. Here we go with the ES. Of course, this is my favorite instrument. Inside candlestick, in general, not inside the body, but certainly inside the body and the wicks. Here we are at the baseline of the day. Now notice, traders come in, hey, it's a close, let's buy it. 43.87. Okay, so they come in and they buy it, and they immediately fade. Where do they fade to? What do you know? You can go back to Friday's video. Friday? Did I do a video on Friday? No, I was out of the office. Thursday's video, and you can see that this line is where they came into. So pay attention to these levels that I have here for us. They're really good. I mean, I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just saying they're really good. And you can just look at them. And so what we are anticipating is some noisy grinding action that allows us to get to the base of the ribbon, and then price action begins to move forward, unless something dramatic happens. Now, here's where we are. What is the first group coming in here? They're going to be buyers. Hey, we just broke out of this zone here. Let's see if we can buy this level of support. What did they do? They came in 378, 376, somewhere around that area, 376 something, right? So 375, 43, 75, 75. So they come down into this area and they're trying to push up. So far, they've only pushed into a lower high. So trend in the big area is still down. If you want to buy this bounce, you buy it at the low areas and then look for it to hit the VWAP, which it's doing right now. And on the pullback, it does not lose the low of Friday. Okay? If it loses the low of Friday, we got some probs, right? It's going to fade. If you're sitting on the short side thinking, you know what, this is going to trend, then the bounce is where you want to get in short. Okay? And I do suspect some sort of grinding motion to the south, although nothing dramatic. This is organized selling. NQ. Wow, how long is this video? Jeez. All right, same sort of thing. Everybody's trying to hold this breakout line. What do you want to do? Hey, if everybody's trying to hold it, maybe I can try and hold it too, right? Buy zones sitting around 15,045. What do you need to do here? Well, it better not lose this low, right? at, what is that, 14,996. Better not lose that low. So you're looking at about 35 to 40 points of squish sitting in here. If you want to wait for the fade and then take the bounce, head after it. Right now, they are trying to push prices to the north. All right, let's see. Gold. Oh, and then we have to look at the RTY because they did a rebalancing. Listen, I believe that gold is headed back down here. The last video I said something to that effect. Gold is on an epic retrace in my mind. So it just could not hold this area that I think is absolutely critical. And so that's really what we want to look for. Any bounces are going to be sell zones. Do not think about the dogs of war taking things and pushing gold to the north, because every bounce is going to be a sell zone. Let's take a look at the RTY. The RTY rebalanced. Every year, the RTY rebalances, and that is the reason we had monster volume on Friday. But look at what happened. Old resistance, new support, same thing here. Although most of the charts are sitting all the way up here, the RTY is still weaker. It's still coming and trying to hold on to its level of support. What are they going to try and do? Hold that level. They don't want to break 1823 or whatever the low, 1825. They don't want to break that zone. If you are long and we break this level, it is not a long. It is not a long until later. Do not let your risk expand in environments like this. Do not double down if you're thinking about a bounce. And if it begins to bounce and you go, oh, I'm thinking this will be short, if it gets above the pre-market high, you're sitting on the wrong side of the trade. Okay? That's it for me, folks. Long one, but I wanted to bring us to center, see what was going on. And here's to a great day. You guys can see me on the Benzinga Pro platform, on StockTwits, and of course in the private Discord channel.